Scotland is famous for its beautiful landscapes, rich history, and exciting culture. With its stunning highlands, famous bagpipes, traditional kilts, and old castles, Scotland has a special place in people's hearts. But how did this small country, with its brave clans and wild beauty, become the proud nation it is today? From ancient battles to moments of great success, Scotland's history is full of adventure and strength. In this video, we'll take a closer look at Scotland's journey, exploring the events that helped shape it into the country we know today. Let's dive into Scotland's amazing history. Scotland's story begins over 10,000 years ago, as the first people arrived in the region after the last ice age. These early settlers were hunter-gatherers who gradually transitioned to farming communities, marking the beginning of civilization in the area. Over the centuries, these people built impressive megalithic stone circles, such as those at Stenness in Orkney. These structures served as places of worship and ritual, showing the importance of community and spirituality. The first written record of Scotland comes from the Greek geographer Pytheas around 325 BC, who referred to the northern part of Britain as Orcus, which would later evolve into the term Scotland. Following this, the Romans, after invading Britain in 43 AD, began pushing northward toward what we now know as Scotland. By 71 AD, they had reached the southern parts of the land, but the native Caledonian tribes fiercely resisted Roman rule. The Romans built forts and watchtowers to mark their northern frontier, but despite their efforts, they never fully conquered Scotland. After the Romans withdrew in the 5th century, several tribal groups controlled Scotland. The Picts, a group of Celtic tribes, live in the northeast of the country. In the 6th century, Irish monks, led by St. Columba, brought Christianity to Scotland, a significant cultural shift that would shape the country's identity for centuries to come. By the 9th century, the Picts and the Gaelic-speaking Scots united under King Kenneth MacAlpin, forming the Kingdom of Alba, which laid the foundation for modern Scotland. Throughout the Middle Ages, Scotland was often divided into rival kingdoms and faced constant threats, including invasions by the Vikings and the Anglo-Saxons. However, the Scots remained resilient, and by the 11th century, Scotland had emerged as a unified kingdom under King Malcolm III, solidifying its role as a cohesive nation. Scotland's most defining struggle for independence occurred in the 13th and 14th centuries. Following the death of King Alexander III in 1286, Scotland entered a period of uncertainty, marked by a succession crisis. King Edward I of England saw this as an opportunity to expand his control and imposed his authority over Scotland's throne. This triggered the famous Wars of Scottish Independence. The hero of these wars was William Wallace, a Scottish knight who led his countrymen against Edward I's forces. Wallace achieved a stunning victory at the Battle of Stirling Bridge in 1297, yet his eventual capture and execution by the English did not mark the end of Scotland's resistance. Robert the Bruce, another iconic Scottish figure, continued the fight and delivered a decisive blow against the English at the Battle of Bannockburn in 1314. This victory ensured Scotland's sovereignty, and by 1328, the Treaty of Edinburgh-Northampton officially recognized Scotland as an independent nation. The 17th century saw Scotland and England united under the same crown. However, they remained separate kingdoms with distinct laws and governments. In 1707, the Treaty of Union was signed, creating the Kingdom of Great Britain. While this union stabilized both kingdoms, it was met with mixed emotions in Scotland, as many saw it as a betrayal of their sovereignty. Despite these tensions, the union led to economic growth and further integration. Scotland became an important part of the British Empire, contributing to its naval power and industrial expansion. The 18th century also saw the rise of the Scottish Enlightenment, producing great thinkers like Adam Smith, the father of modern economics, whose influence would stretch far beyond Scotland and into the global landscape. Even after the Union, many Scots remained loyal to the Stuart family's claim to the throne. This loyalty sparked a series of Jacobite uprisings, the most famous of which occurred in 1745 when Bonnie Prince Charlie led a rebellion for Scottish independence. Initially successful, the Jacobites were ultimately defeated at the Battle of Culloden in 1746, which marked the end of the Jacobite cause. The aftermath of the rebellion led to severe consequences for the Scots, especially in the Highlands, where many were forced from their homes. This period saw the end of the clan system and set the stage for Scotland's social and political transformation in the centuries to come. The 19th century saw Scotland undergo rapid industrialization, transforming its economy. The central belt of Scotland, stretching from the southwest to the northeast, became a hub for coal mining, shipbuilding, and steel production. Glasgow, in particular, emerged as one of the world's leading industrial cities, attracting workers from rural areas and creating a booming urban population. Scotland also played a critical role in the British Empire during this period, supplying soldiers, merchants, and entrepreneurs. Scottish regiments fought in numerous conflicts, including both world wars, where Scotland lost many of its young men. These wars and their aftermath left a deep impact on Scotland's national identity, fueling a growing sense of nationalism and pride in its unique heritage. The early 20th century brought significant challenges to Scotland as traditional industries, such as coal mining and shipbuilding, began to decline. High unemployment and poverty affected much of the country, particularly in the west of Scotland. The rise of the Labour Party and socialist movements addressed many of these social issues, providing support to those who were most affected by the economic downturn. In the post-war years, Scotland began to question its relationship with England. The 1970s and 1980s saw a rise in Scottish nationalism, as many Scots called for greater autonomy from Westminster. This growing movement led to the creation of the Scottish Parliament in 1999, restoring a degree of self-governance and control over key areas such as health, education, and justice. Today, Scotland remains part of the United Kingdom, but it has carved out a unique identity that is embraced by its people. The country is a global leader in industries such as technology, engineering, and finance, with cities like Edinburgh and Glasgow becoming hubs for innovation. Scotland's educational system is world-renowned, and its universities, such as the University of Edinburgh and the University of Glasgow, continue to attract students and researchers from around the globe. The question of Scottish independence remains central to the country's political discourse. While the 2014 referendum resulted in a vote to remain part of the UK, the issue of independence continues to dominate political discussions. The Scottish National Party (SNP), led by First Minister Humza Yousaf, has pushed for another referendum in the future. In addition to political debates, Scotland is leading the way in renewable energy, with a focus on offshore wind power as part of its goal to achieve carbon neutrality by 2045. The country is making significant strides toward addressing climate change and promoting sustainability, investing heavily in green technologies. From its early days as a land of Celtic tribes to its central role in the British Empire, Scotland's history is one of resilience and transformation. Today, Scotland is a proud nation that balances its rich identity with its position within the United Kingdom. With a strong commitment to its culture, a forward-thinking approach to innovation, and a deep sense of pride, Scotland continues to shape its future. If you enjoyed this journey through Scotland's history, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating videos about history. Let us know in the comments what part of Scotland's history you found most interesting, or if there's any other country's history you'd like to explore. Thanks for watching.